Hey, welcome back. This is Jerry and Carson. We're just hanging out with you guys today. We're hoping we can help you with a little muscle release and pain release with our friendly neighborhood foam roller. These are made of lots of different composites. Some are very firm, some are a little softer. They make them, half this size. Some of them come with knobbies on them and dig right into that tissue. But we're just gonna kind of walk through a real simple foam roll routine. Personally, I like it as a 60-year-old, young people. I like it because it's after my workouts. It helps to really get a release of some of the sore tissue, which is super fun. And today, Carson's recovering from her Grand Canyon walk, so she might find a little sore spot or two on her body. So we're just gonna kind of rock and roll. We're just gonna talk this through for you. So if you're comfortable, find a soft place. If you've got a mat or a carpet, it works. Hopefully you have a foam roller at the house. If not, swing by and grab one, and then we're gonna get going.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, so we're gonna start in our dreaded gastrocnemius and soleus, those calf muscles. Now, some of you are gonna go, really, coach, that's gonna be it? We're gonna start right there. So we wanna start down kind of towards the ankle and roll up that Achilles just to the bottom or the base of that calf muscle. And we're just gonna go about 10 times up and back. We can kind of take that toe and turn it out. And if you find a spot, oh, there's one, and you can stay right on that spot. If you want a little more pressure, just cross that leg over and you can kind of push down with that other leg and just rotate that all the way across there. Rock it back and forth, like I say, about 10 times, and then we're just gonna go a little further. Up the belly of that gastrocnemius. There's a really tender spot right there. So I'm gonna stay right there and kind of rock back and forth, apply a little more pressure, let it roll all the way to the outside, let it roll to the inside. Okay, then we're gonna keep moving, kind of scooting forward on that. Okay, try to get to the back part of that belly of that gastroc, and that's where I'm gonna apply the most pressure. Because I know I've got a knot, there it is, a knot right there that fights me all the time. So if you kind of flex and extend at that ankle that you're working on, so you can relax it, let that toe point a little bit, or you can pull it back, and then you're gonna find that spot. And just walk that through there, okay? Again, about 10. Oh, I need about 30.
Now, one thing I really like about foam rolling is that you can really play with the pressure that you're applying using your body weight and just like, bringing a different position to your foot. You can really kind of play with the sensation that you're feeling in these different spots.
Absolutely. So you're gonna do the same thing on the other leg. For time-wise, we're gonna go ahead and kind of move to the next group, but you go ahead and jump over and get right to that other leg, take your time and work that out, okay? If your shoulders kind of get a little irritated or your wrists, because we're sitting back there, you don't necessarily have to lean back. It's just, this may be an uncomfortable posture for you. So I just like that because it kind of helps me to lay back and do that, okay? So we're gonna move up into that hamstring, and I'm gonna stay on the same leg. I'll come back and do the other one later. But we're gonna take right from just above the base of the knee, back of that knee, and we're gonna roll that out all the way towards your glute. And just let it roll forward, and then bring it back. And just nice, keep your hips up and off the ground, and just kind of turn the toe in, same kind of thing. Turn that leg, get towards the inside of that quad right there. There's a good spot. Okay, and do the same thing. Let that toe rotate and come to the outside. May not find as much sore there, but we really just want to take, again, make about 10 good passes up and back. Okay, just nice in there. And again, remember, if you take and want more pressure, right? Just cross that leg over and kind of push down a little bit, and you can really find that. But get all the way up into that, towards the base of that glute as you work. Okay, Carson's modeling really good breathing. Me, I'm just talking away. She's over here exhaling and taking nice controlled breaths, which is really beneficial because now we're not workout mode, but we are thinking relaxation. Okay, it may not feel like relaxation as the muscle gets kind of cranked on, but to slow your breathing down and to exhale through 3, 4, 5 count, and then take a nice inhale. Should be super good. Before we get over to the quad, we're going to get right up into that glute, kind of keep you with your tummy towards the sky. So I would say get to a place where you can kind of sit on the roller, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to work one glute to the other side. And we'll talk it through as we find different spots, because there's obviously, some of the muscles we're going to hit have a lot to do with the posture Carson's talked about. So as she hits her spots and goes, there's the one, those are those things that help us or hinder us from having good posture, especially as we see. So we're going to take one leg. So I'm going to roll over to I'm going to start with my left side glute. So I'm going to cross my left leg over just right above the knee, nice and comfortable. And as you turn your body, just roll up and back on the meaty part of your bum until you find those glute, there it is. Those glute spots, and just gently roll through them. Try not to roll too high over the top of that iliac crest. Sometimes there's circulatory vessels and nervous tissue that you want to stay away from, but we want to find those muscles that need to get released. Those of you who might be golfers, this is a great little added bonus because this is one of those flexibility and movement muscles in rotation of a golf swing is vital to being able to hit the ball. And again, as we age, we lose that mobility. So I spend a lot of time, because I like to golf, but I spend a lot of time working on those. Oh, there it is. You can feel that all the way in the bottom of the foot. How about yours?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got these, so you've got this little part of your glute called the glute medius, and when you really kind of get that little rotation and you kind of get over toward that hip right underneath that iliac crest, then you're getting into this space that is a hip stabilizer. And so if you think about anytime you're on your feet, these little outer glutes are kind of firing and stabilizing not only your hip but also your lower back. And so this area, depending on how we move throughout the day or how we don't move throughout the day, can end up getting cranky. And so we're trying to kind of, soothe them a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because they get cranky.
Yeah. So again, in your world, you can take as much time as you need. We're going to kind of get moving on to the next group, but I think that'll be one that you will like. We're gonna stay in that hip and quad area and talk about our IT band, quad, and then our psoas. 3 groups that have a lot to do with your posture, a ton, and even the mobility to move around. Pick stuff up off the floor, bend down. Watering, doing whatever you do around the house on the daily. So we're going to rock to one side, and we're going to try to contact this, what's called IT band. So it's right down along the posterior, the lateral side of our quadricep, and then just slightly forward. So we're going to take this forward angle, and we're just going to roll that out, even if you get down to your elbow, and kind of just let that work on that hip. Again, try to roll it up as far as you can towards that iliac crest. Push, and again, right here, I'm letting all my weight stay right on those spots. So I can feel that right there. And then just walk that out all the way down. Keep letting it walk down towards your knee, and then walk it back up. And again, once you find the spot, oh, hello, there's the spot. And just keep walking over it and back.
And this is where, like, especially with this one, there's some intensity to it. And the foam roll I'm working with is a little softer, and I'm really sore. So it's probably for the best that my foam roll has a little bit of give to it. And so if you're new to this, you don't have to jump in and get the most intense version of a foam roller that you can find. You can find one that has a little give to it, and you're still gonna experience a lot of benefit from these different movements.
So as we roll, now we're gonna kind of bring our tummy more towards the floor, and we're gonna work on that quad more intensely. So we're gonna get that foam roller, and again, working up and back, right over the top of that quad. And just find that, oh, there's a spot. And then just let that work. Now, as you bend the knee and pull it up, oh, baby, now we even intensify that even a little bit more. So just stay on your elbows and just kind of let that action happen. Oh, there's another spot. And just breathe easy and roll through. Let that go.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, breathe easy. So again, kind of rolling with our tummy kind of coming up off the floor. Let the end of that roller find that guy, that little hip flexor right there in the corner of that hip joint. Just let him roll out. You feel that guy? Ooh, I sure do. Now, the last one I want to talk about is our psoas muscle. If you look at anatomy chart, it's the only muscle that connects our upper body to our lower body. Okay? And a lot of us, you know, you get up out of your chair after working all day and you feel like this. So our psoas is really important to roll out and get that so we can free up and be more upright. So I'm going to take the end of this foam roller and I'm going to get right up into that psoas, and I'm going to try my very best to find that spot. Again, careful on the iliac crest, but let that work in there, and you'll know when you find it, you're going to know it. And again, work the difference between a straight leg and a flexed leg, but get in deep into that psoas muscle, kind of let it come up into the quad, and then push back into that psoas muscle. That is going to feel ugly for a little while. It's not going to be pleasurable, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to get is some of that, the muscle tissue to release. Okay, it's got a lot of junk built up in there, and we want to just release that, let the body flush it so that we can let the muscle return to its correct tensile strength. And we just want to take our time with that, okay? So find that good psoas muscle. One of the things I do at home is I have a larger softball that isn't soft, it's very hard and firm. That's what I use for my psoas. But try those, and again, when you're done, you should feel like, woohoo, man, I am just upright and released. It's a really cool piece. So the last thing Carson and I wanted to cover was, we're talking about our low back up through our shoulders. So I'm going to turn my back a little bit, and Carson can talk a little bit as we go through here, but I want you to roll literally from just above my glutes all the way up towards the base of our head. So we're going to get some lats, we're going to get erector spinae, we're going to get subscapularis, we're going to get rhomboids, we're going to get some trapezius, but get a lot of release in these areas. If you're tight in the middle of your back. If you're tight, this little roll, this one's gonna help you. So we're gonna start kind of in that low back and then just work our way up. Now you might get some free back adjustment. You might find your spine going pop up, pop up, pop up, which is good. It's okay. Just let your body roll back and forth. And again, if you get on those spots and it starts to feel like it needs to roll out, let it go. Just breathe easy and let your body weight handle it. Okay, if your low back is really tender, don't be afraid. Let your hips go ahead and sit on the ground a little bit. You're okay to sit on the ground. Let that go. Carson, explain why you're lifting your arms.
So I'm lifting my arms to just get into some of these stabilizer muscles of the scapula. And when I do this, I want to do it in a pretty functional way. So especially if your shoulders are sticky or not super mobile, then coming forward first and then working on reaching overhead is going to be a great way to find some of these different areas and really get into these stabilizers of your scapula. And when it comes to movement of your shoulder, if your scapula aren't freed up, then that's really going to limit the amount of mobility that you have in your shoulder joint. And a lot of times you just think of the shoulder as this little capsule here, but so much is about movement and the ability of our scapula to move on our upper back.
So I'm doing some things single arm because instead of staying absolutely square to the foam roller, I'm just kind of leaning a little bit because I'm trying to get into that rhomboid, get into that subscap, even rotate it out, and just find a place where that muscle really needs to find some release. For those of you that can, I get up in all the way up into my traps. I just try to get them all the way in there and just let that foam roller be my friend. My hips are down the floor and just creating a little bit of pressure. And again, I think it's just a super great way. Oh, there's one more pop. I just think it's a super great way to finish your day, maybe in the evening. You've been working on a project at your computer for 7-8 hours, and go for a walk, come back, foam roll. Maybe it'll give you that little bit of release that you need, maybe sleep a little better. But we hope this series or this portion of the series helps you, and hope you find some relief, because muscle pain and back pain, oftentimes it's about our glutes, our psoas. They're just too tight. We got to get them loosened up.
And this is something that, a lot of having your body, move freer and just kind of feel better. A lot of it is about habits and how you move your body every day. This is one of those things that can really provide some instant relief, which is cool. If you take 10-15 minutes, you can really feel a lot better right now.
No question. So again, it's your body.
Yeah.
You usually only get one of them. So like my dad used to say, I would have taken better care of myself if I had known I was going to live this long. He's now 87, doing pretty good, I think. But hope you have a great day, and I hope this was helpful. And this is Jerry and Carson. We're signing out.